everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Chido and this is Chido Starts Up. Today I'll be sharing a story about a failed business venture that I tried during university. But before I get there, please make sure to click the subscribe button at the bottom of this page. So during varsity, I decided to start a business with my friends. And this business was operational around 2017, but it actually started in December 2016. So what happened was that in December, I'd come home for the university holidays. And as my mom always does during those holidays, she made us do some spring cleaning. So I was stuck in my room for a very long period of time, just sifting through clothes, trying to listen to music, trying to entertain myself. And then I actually realized that I had a lot of pieces of clothing that were in good shape. More so dresses. I had a lot of dresses that I'd probably worn once or twice in the past. And then I went to my sister and my mom and asked them if they had similar pieces of clothing, and they did. So I took our dresses and I took them back to varsity with me when I went back. When I got back to varsity, I then asked my friend if she wanted to join me in starting a dress rental business, and she was super keen. So she went home and she also collected some of her old dresses, and then we had like this huge collection of dresses that we're going to rent out. So our target market were I think first years, second years, third years who had formal events. So like a residence formal or like a society's formal. They were people that we thought would be looking for dresses to rent for one night or just a short period of time, and then they can obviously return them back to us instead of buying a whole new dress, because our prices were also cheaper than going to buy a new dress. And then we actually realized that people would want like the full package. So people want a nice dress, people want shoes, people want to look good. So then we recruited two of our other friends who are really good at doing makeup, and we asked them if they could join us, and then they can do the whole makeup thing. So then someone comes to us, they rent a dress, we refer them to our makeup artist, and then boom, they've got a full look for a really good bargain. So this idea was received quite well, and we did get quite a few clients at the beginning, but our pricing was a bit off. We hadn't really taken time to actually price properly or even really think much about like business basics and the foundations of our business. But because we were really excited and we're getting a lot of people inquiring about our services, we wanted to rush and get our marketing out and make sure that everybody kind of knew about us on campus. So what we did is we printed these really nice posters. Okay, I think they're nice. But we printed these posters, and then we went to all the residences around campus that housed our target market. So first year residences, second year, third year residences, and also some other boards around the university, and we stuck them there so that people could see our poster. From that exercise, we actually didn't get a lot of people inquiring. It still seemed like the people who were inquiring were from our own residence hall, or they were people that we knew. And I think we didn't really take that as a sign that perhaps our efforts weren't working, perhaps we weren't reaching our right target market. So then what we then did is we decided to have a photo shoot, and we got my cousin was actually at UCT at the time, and we asked her and her friends if they would model some of our dresses for us. So what they did is that they wore the dresses that we already had in stock, and we took photos. We took them on our own personal camera. We didn't really get anyone professional to do it because, again, we didn't have the funds to do so. And as an entrepreneur, you kind of want to do as much as you can by yourself, again, save costs, and just make sure that you understand everything that's happening in your business. So we took our pictures and started posting them on social media. And I think then we started getting a little bit more traction. Again, it was mostly people that we did know, but the nice thing about that is that they started talking to people that we didn't know. So our marketing started becoming word of mouth type of marketing, and people who we didn't know were also inquiring about our prices with us. So our first dress was actually hired by a friend of mine. She hired the first dress, and we wrapped it up nicely. We made sure that the packaging was just exquisite, and we went and hand delivered it to her. Granted that her room was about like 2 minutes away from my room, but we were so excited, and we made sure that the whole process came together. So we obviously packaged the dress for her, and we went and we gave it to her, and then she asked us if we could help her tie it properly. It was one of those 1,000 ways dresses, those dresses that you can tie like 1,000 ways and have different types of styles. So my friend and I looked at each other and were like, do you know how to tie this dress? I don't know how to tie this dress. So we kind of had a little moment of, okay, what do we do? But because we're both such go-getters, we're like, no, we're gonna make this work. So I kind of stood by the side, and then my friend, she just like, you know, took it upon herself to tie this dress for her, and she tied it so beautifully. I don't think we have a picture actually of the way she ended up tying it, but it was a beautiful dress, and our first client was very happy with it. So she then went to her dance, and she came back and she was very happy with the fact that she'd been able to rent out a dress, to return it with ease, and to spend, you know, a little bit of money to look as good as she did. So once we received the dress back, we then noticed it was dirty. And I mean, it may seem a bit silly now that we noticed it was dirty, but we hadn't thought about those logistics. So we didn't think that, okay, snap, you know, obviously she went out and she had a good time, but the dress has come back dirty, and it's not like we can charge her for that, because our service is that we provide the dress, you just relax, you just receive the dress, wear it, and then, you know, you live your life again. So now we had to make a plan about getting the dress cleaned so that the next person who would want to rent it out receives a clean dress, and not a dress that has some sweat stains or, you know, any other form of dirt. And then now when we started doing the number crunching, I think that's actually when we started doing the number crunching, when our costs started piling up. When we started doing the number crunching, we realized that our pricing was way too low for this to be sustainable. So even if we had to take it to the dry cleaners, it was going to be expensive. If we had to buy our own washing liquid or washing powder and wash it ourselves, it was probably going to be expensive. Also because we didn't really know the materials of each type of gown and how it was required to be washed. So we were also scared that now in washing the clothing that we had, we're going to actually ruin it. So we put that dress aside. We actually didn't really address it, no pun intended. Anyway, we put the dress aside and we didn't really deal with it. We decided that, you know what, while we kind of think about how we're going to handle this dress washing situation, we're going to rent out our other dresses. And we started trying to market our other dresses, but people, again, weren't so keen. So we put a call out for people to bring in their dresses so that we could hold them for them, and then they can earn some commission of their old dresses. So we had a few people bring in their dresses. I think about 5 people brought in their dresses. But yeah, some major lessons there. Some dresses were not hired at all. And this person started feeling like, okay, I've given my dress to these people. They promised me money. There's no money coming in. I'm just going to take my dress back. And for us, we were scared to give people their dresses back because we thought that, okay, at that moment when you give it back, that's when someone is going to want to rent it out. So yeah, what we ended up actually doing is that we just talked to the people and convinced them to allow us to hold their dresses for longer. Also because graduation season was coming and we knew for a fact we're going to make big bucks in graduation season. So I think this was another flaw. We knew that our business was a good business, and we knew that we had a market, and we knew that there are events that happen throughout the year that enable our market to look for what we're providing, to look for dresses, to look for makeup services. But I think we were ahead of ourselves. We started counting the money before it was in our pockets. So with graduation season, we were just dreaming about how much money we were going to make. We wanted to split it 4 ways because there were 4 of us, split it 25, 25, 25, 25. We were just thinking about that instead of actually refining our model and focusing on what was necessary, which was delivering the product and the service as it was needed. So the way our business DM Gold, which meant dress, makeup, gold, or D2M Gold, dress to makeup, gold, I actually don't really know how to pronounce our name anymore. But our business was divided into 2 divisions. So 2 of us did the dress rentals and the other 2 did the makeup services. So on the dress rental side, we were renting our dresses for graduation season. And what we had done is I think we decided to run a promotion where if you rented out a dress, you'd get, I think 25% off your makeup. So we wanted people to use us for their whole experience, for the dresses and the makeup services. But what we didn't do is that we hadn't liaised with the makeup team. So we were renting our dresses and we were getting orders and again holding people's money. And then we then went to the makeup side and said, hey guys, you know, we've rented out X amount of dresses and we've got X amount of people wanting your makeup services. So when can we slot them in so we can communicate with them and let them know when to be there for their makeup? And there was an awkward silence. No one was really speaking. And again, this conversation was had, I think, in person. And we were like, hey guys, did you not hear us? You know, we've got clients. And the two were like, oh no, we actually plan to go home for the Easter break, and the Easter break is when graduation is, so we won't be around during that time. And I think that's kind of where things just started crumbling. We had not communicated amongst the four of us. Our communication was more focused on the fact that we're going to really do quite well during graduation season, instead of actually planning and understanding who would be where, and if people were actually able to provide the services that we were promising. Unfortunately, we didn't actually end up pulling through with what we had promised during that graduation season. We referred people to places where they could get cheaper dresses, to other makeup artists, but we didn't continue with our services. And from then on, I think the business just dwindled down. I think we just realized, and I think it also became apparent that we didn't have the foundations in place. We were just moving, with the times. And I think it's okay for business to start off like that, but at some point you have to actually start thinking about your processes. You have to start thinking about your budgets, your finances. You have to start understanding what it takes for your business to run continuously. You have to understand how to also make it through your off season. So, we were focusing on our peak seasons being like graduation season around April, Easter time, and then the formal season, which is around September. But in between that, we didn't have a plan. And again, because we didn't have a plan, we wouldn't speak much, we wouldn't communicate. So then now imagine, April comes and you guys work together. Then for the months between April and September, you're not speaking, you're not planning, you're not working, you're not doing anything. Then come August, just before formal season, you want to pick up again and start working with people. It doesn't work like that. You have to always be working continuously. And I think that's something that I really learned. So I still believe in that business model. If anyone wants to run with it and wants to ask me more about it, please feel free to do so. I think it can definitely succeed, especially amongst the demographic of university students who do not have a lot of disposable income, who just want something, maybe for a moment, and they want to kind of move on to something else. I still think that idea has a lot of potential. It just needs to be refined, and it will definitely succeed. So yeah, thank you so much for watching this video. Please make sure to click the subscribe button at the bottom of this page. Leave your comments as well. I'd love to hear what you think. I'd love to hear of any other lessons that you may have picked up as I was speaking that you can share with us, so that again we can all learn. And yeah, please make sure to like this video as well. I'll catch you next time.